This basically says that if you don't send it to your insurance company, you're held liable for the bill.
Right.
If you
But-
forward it to your insurance company, then we take what your insurance company gives us,
And zero out the balance.
zero out the rest.
And that's
I'm
what
not-
comes, that's what comes to the board in the form of an abatement,
Yes, it would come to the board as a form of abatement,
correct?
through the TA, yes.
Excuse me, that's not what it says in number 2. It says all patients who have private insurance will be billed until the insurance company or the patient pays for the service.
Right.
That's,
Right.
I just heard that if insurance doesn't pay it, it's dropped.
No, I think what we would do here in this amendment, we'd eliminate paragraph 3.
Under the state of Massachusetts, everybody's supposed to have some type of insurance. And basically what we're saying is, take the bill, forward it to your insurance company. If you don't, you have to pay the bill. If you forward it to your insurance company, and the insurance company pays X, Y, and Z,
Yeah.
then that's all we'll take. Then we don't chase the consumer or the resident at that time.
I think, I don't want to speak for Mr. O'Leary, but I think what he's looking to do is just to eliminate paragraph 3 in this billing policy and rate schedule.
Pretty much, but I think what you need to do is you need to incorporate some portion of 3 in the policy, because 2 does not address it. 2 basically says what we're doing now. We chase everybody for the balance.
Yep.
3
Oh, something to the effect
3
that,
creates a separate category for
Residents.
residents whereby they will only be charged what their private insurance will allow.
so 2 needs to include something, some language to the effect that the town will accept payment made by or through the private insurance.
All you need to do is say something about, in 3, you have a category 3, all patients will only be charged what their private insurance company will allow, period. All right, will allow, upon proof that they submitted, you know. That we want to keep it in here that we want to keep some sort of impetus for them to file.
Forward it
their-
on to the insurance
Forward to the
company.
insurance company. In other words, if they don't do it, and we know they haven't,
Right.
they owe us the full amount, you know? So that's 2. 3 is, all patients who have submitted the bill to their private insurance company will only be responsible up to what's been paid, or something to that extent. If they've submitted it.
I think it has to be
If
worded
they
the other way.
submitted,
Will
they've
not
covered
be
it.
responsible for anything over and above what the private
Right,
insurance is.
whatever way I put it, but I think that's what number 3 needs to be. You know, once they've complied with forwarding it, they're covered. They owe us nothing else. 2 says if they don't, they owe it. 3 says if they do it, they're covered.
I can go along with the, I don't know what the view of the rest of the board is, I can go along with that, the amendment to that proposed new policy. Any discussion?
Yeah, I'm kind of
Mr. Field?
digesting what I'm hearing.
Sure.
here. So, to simplify it, if, God forbid, I needed the ambulance, I go in the ambulance, I take your bill, I submit it to HMO Blue, whatever they pay, you'll accept and you don't chase me.
Right. Yeah. We're not gonna come to Rock Road and.
Well, I won't let you up there anyways.
Exactly. That-
Okay, but I still have the issue with charging different people, different, you know, are we dropping that? Are we gonna charge everybody?
Mr. O'Leary's suggesting that we eliminate that, and I'm in agreement with that.
With, in other words, residents and non-residents are gonna be
Doesn't
treated
matter.
alike?
Yes.
No, that's what I wanted to see also. Yep.
Right, so I
I think
think,
we had this discussion before, a couple go-arounds before, where we talked about charging residents a little different and chasing them a little differently, and I
Right,
think we had that.
right.
And I think the current policy reflects that. This isn't the current policy just says everybody's responsible, we're chasing everybody.
Right.
Right.
So then, in a nutshell, whatever Blue Cross Blue Shield or whatever health plan, or Medicare or Medicaid gives, the town will accept that.
Right, and people
That's
that
what
are
I
on
mean. Will not be
Medicare,
chasing the
people who are on
person
Medicare who have supplemental insurance are required to submit that,
to submit that.
and if they
Okay.
don't, they're responsible for the
Yep,
whole
I
bill.
agree with that. I agree with that.
And are we saying that we're gonna keep these new rates
Well, we haven't addressed whether or not we accept the new rates yet.
We haven't
but,
got to the rate yet.
Okay.
I think that comes after, I think
Well,
we
may-
have to, Mr. Balakonis, I think you can clarify, we have to first approve the policy before we move on to accepting the rates. I think we can discuss the rates. but
One
we
doesn't
can't-
work without the other.
Yeah,
Right.
we can't approve it
Okay.
tonight. It's just the first reading of the new policy. I just have an issue with the bottom third-party service billing, just grammatical issues, I think. Just change the language. A, the ALS provider set its own rates for ALS service it provides. And then B, it can seek payment for services rendered as provided in the contract. Those are just the changes from the plural to the
Right,
singular.
makes sense.
That's all. Like fourth grade teacher who was a nun drilled it in my head, so just wanted to correct that.
Hence a
So
lawyer.
in terms of first reading, I think we've addressed any potential changes to the new policy. Any further discussion on that?
Yes,
Mr. Vito?
yes, I have a question on that third-party billing. Are we saying that ALS does not have to accept what the insurance company is giving them?
Right now, it's my understanding, the chief can speak, I think, more probably.
They bill for ALS services. And the way the contract is written with them, they bill ALS services.
We have nothing to do with the ALS
Nothing to do
billing.
with it.
Oh, okay.
It's
We
all
have
done
nothing to do
through,
with it.
currently, it's all done through the ALS service provider.
So then,
If you go under ALS service,
yep,
and you're not a Medicare provider, if we don't provide Medicare for that call, Medicare doesn't pay the bill, then the ALS provider submits the bill. And they charge whatever they charge, and then they send us back $154.
they charge that to the patient
They charge the patient, yes.
Or to their insurance company.
or to their insurance company.
Right, but they have their own way of billing, and they have their own structure of what they bill.
Do
We
they
don't
have
say
to
what we
accept
do.
what the insurance company gives them?
No,
They don't,
no.
okay. Okay,
Do they? Do we know what they're doing?
On the Medicare, they do. Do we know what they're billing?
Yeah.
No.
Hmm.
We've seen bills, they show them to us, but it depends upon what you take. For they charge different rates for mileage, different rates for oxygen. Depending on what you get, is how much they bill.
Is it dependent upon what I get for treatment or
Treatment.
use of supplies, or is it based upon the insurance coverage I have?
It's based on what they treat you for. If they do cardiac defibrillation, they charge you for that. They charge you for the trip. They charge you for oxygen use, for anything and everything that they use.
Okay, no, and I don't have a problem with that, but just what I was hearing is, it appears as though they have a different rate structure.
They do.
For everything. It's kind of like an à la carte
Yes.
menu, right?
Yes.
Right.
But the service from point A to point B, is that the same? I mean, in other words, if it's oxygen, they charge the oxygen, but if the standard is, I don't know if it's a mileage rate or what have you, but the cost going from here to Leahy, for example, that has X amount of miles to it,
Right.
all right, that remains the same regardless of what type of service you're getting, except they add for the oxygen or they add for the, whatever the service they have to give you.
They set their own rates. Our rate per mile on a BLS is $12 a mile. Their rate is $38 because they're an ALS provider. So, I mean, everything that they do, the rate is higher because it's ALS, Advanced Life Service.
But I think, Jeff, your question is, do they charge you $38 a mile, and then because you have oxygen, the mileage rate goes up to $40 a mile? I
Well,
don't think they do that.
no, I'm thinking the mileage would stay the same, but then they just add on top, you had
Yes.
this service, and this service.
Yes, right.
Okay, along the way, okay,
Well, yes.
all right, I wasn't thinking that the mileage would go up.
No, right.
That changes only whatever the mileage.
That's why it's been,
$38 a mile from point A to point B.
it's actually been suggested to us, if we, getting a little ahead of ourselves, if we go ALS, we shouldn't even do the à la carte, we should actually do a rate, stick with the rate.
Right,
And there's less challenges to that,
right.
if it's done that way, versus
Less
à la carte.
challenges?
Challenges through insurance.
There may be less
Right.
challenges. My guess is you collect more,
No, necessarily.
you know, by fighting with them and, you know.
Well, that's a discussion for another time.
Right, but I'm just pointing things out.
All right.
Any further
So
discussion
what do
on
we
it?
have for what were your other suggestions, Sean, in relation to,
I thought it was yours, but,
No, number 3, all I'm saying is change residents to all patients and then put a period after allow and strike the rest of the, all patients will only be charged what their private insurance will allow.
Well, I think it should,
I just had one item I wanted to keep in there,
What's that?
which was, this is accomplished by forwarding proof to the town administrator that said charges
Yep.
have been submitted to their insurer,
That's good.
period, and the rest of it struck.
Letter of proof.
Proof could be as follows.
Second line.
I just think it needs to read something to the effect that
Charges.
something to the effect that all patients will not be charged
Anything in
any,
excess.
any monies in excess of what the town has been reimbursed by the private insurance company.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that accomplishes the same thing, but the town administrator's suggestion as far as keeping something in there relating to,
Anonymous.
I think-
accomplished by forwarding a letter of proof to the town administrator, this is what's.
I agree, that should be in there.
Mr. Delaney, I'm wondering if what you're suggesting would be appropriate to be just in the first sentence, just after the words Medicaid, Medicare and Medicaid and private insurance? That accomplishes what you're intending?
I guess I have an issue with the word allowed versus what the town has been reimbursed by Medicare, Medicaid, or private insurance. Maybe semantics, but I want to focus on the receipts, from private insurance on Medicare, Medicaid versus what is allowable. I think they could be two separate things.
And if it's the word allowed, if we change that word to paid, not be charged more than what is paid by Medicaid, Medicare, or private insurance. I mean, that's pretty cut and
I
dry.
think that satisfies it.
Yeah, whatever they pay, we accept.
You have plenty of
Don't-
suggestions.
That was the first read?
Well, I don't know what it looks like.
I don't know what it looks like either. but Mr. Valiakonis is going to make changes to it, and we'll have it for a second reading at the next meeting.
We'll try it, we'll see how it looks.
No, but I think we've covered the issues on that. Any further
All right, so now
discussion?
you gonna talk about table 2 as part of it, or not?
Chief is here, I think we can discuss it.
Table 2 kind of correlates to raising the rates to go along with Table 1 and the policy. Increasing the rates to $12.50 from what we have right now. Current rates are 6 1/4, 3.11, $7.50. Raising those rates to what you see in front of you.
Excuse me.
That was suggested by the gentleman that we had come in to visit us at the meeting.
Do you anticipate, say, for instance, the mileage rate, current rate's 25, raising it to $38, do you anticipate pushback from insurance company, even if it's just the basic life support?
No, they told us, well, the gentleman told us that that's what they charge for BLS rates right now.
Okay.
What he had said to us, there was, a couple of years ago, there was a bit of a push by the insurance companies. It was pushed back by certainly private ambulance and possibly some communities too, lobbied against it. And once they got a little push, the insurance companies backed off. And what it turned out, what they found out was ambulance billing was such a small percentage of total insurance coverage that they backed off right away. They didn't want the fight. So, yeah. Mr. Vino?
Do we know, are these new rates, chief, are these the ones we know the insurance company will pay?
This is what we currently, our current rates are right now.
No, I'm
The
sorry, I'm
suggested
talking the
rates.
new rates. The new rates.
The new rates?
Yeah, do we know, will the insurance company pay those new rates, do we know?
We're under the assumption they will from the gentleman that we talked to.
Yeah, I think
He's
these,
the billing company.
it-
These are the rates that he gave us to go by that have been paid to him directly.
right, I think Chief, actually, the gentleman who's who spoke to us, his company, I think his rates are actually higher than this, but he said these are the amounts, the maximums that have been paid through
That they'll pay?
private insurance companies.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Again, I don't have a problem raising